joining us.
No, thank you for inviting me, Walt. I'm
Yeah.
pretty excited.
Yeah, cool. So over here is Quemby. Here, what I'll do is I'll share the entire screen so that people can see what Quemby is and kind of get a feel for it. So tell me about it. Like, so first of all, what does Quemby mean, and what problems does it solve for your customers?
Well, if we're gonna talk about the name is actually completely made up. that was a that was a fun story. When I was a kid, I had a rabbit, and in a way, when I was mumbling a name, I say something like Quemby, I guess, and that's how it stick. And when I moved to the U.S. and I had this idea like I want a company, and I just come up with like why not using the name of the rabbit that I sadly lost at that time. So that's how the name came up.
Okay. So Crummy was the name of your rabbit, and then then it just kind of stuck. So the one thing that kind of stuck me out is like when I was learning more about your company, is that you say here that you're not a Kubernetes as a service company. So tell me like what that means, and kind of like how like you built out your like platform as a service.
Yeah, actually, the way to explain that, I'll do one step back. It's like I've been using Kubernetes from the beginning since it came up, and I love it and all that. But I mean, creating Kubernetes clusters, there's a ton of services out there. That's already covered initially. But the point is, there's a lot of people that think that Kubernetes is a solution, and I think it's not. It's the foundation of the solution that you want to build. So in Quemby, instead, we focus more like how can we create this platform engineering that it help you speed up your process, it help you be more DevOps efficient, and that's what we focus on. So for us, we are agnostic. At the end, we are Kubernetes based, but we are not focusing on like, oh, we give you the perfect cluster. No, you can still do that in a way that you think is best for your company. We're more into like a platform DevOps engineering ecosystem.
Okay. So how did you find out about Equinix?
Funny story. I was actually doing an IT due diligence for a company, and I heard about like the Equinix ecosystem, and I was already familiar with previously Packet, and I love it, and then I found out like, oh, okay, there was a merge, and then I started looking more into like Equinix Metal. I fell in love, and then I found a link that said start a program, and I was like, oh, this is just for me because I wanted to find more like an infrastructure that it helps me, get this platform with the best performance I can, and that's how I end up, finding about the program. Then I got to meet James, and since then I've been basically doing it all the time, and I love it.
That's awesome. So here, I'm actually showing off the website now, just so people can get an idea of it as you're talking. Some like FAQs and client testimonials. You guys got blog posts going on, so there's a lot here. And then over here, incubated by Equinix. So when I guess that brings you to my next question is that when you found out about Equinix, then you obviously found out about their partner program of their startup
Yeah.
program. Um, so you were one of the like early companies, finding success through the Equinix startup program. But yeah, and we're happy to like have you too. So just give us a tour of the platform if you could.
Yeah.
Um,
Absolutely.
and
Uh, Before that, can I just add one more thing about the program because I think it's important to
Sure.
highlight a couple of things there. When I found out about the program and we started talking to them and all that, something very interesting happened, different to other programs. That being part of other programs, and it's that it's just not about people always get into the program because of the credits, right? That's what they look for. But here, what I found is that more than credits. Actually, the credits I don't even know how we're handling that, but it's more about like the ecosystem, like how we help each other, how we can get this opportunity to talk to you and showcase platform, how I can get help from the community, like a lot. I'm always on the Slack channel and I get a ton of help, especially when I was dealing with some networking stuff that I wanted to do, and I couldn't get it right. And then the team was happy to jump into the in fixing that real quick. So that warming ecosystem, helping more than credits, and helping me being in different places with you. The blog that was able to that the Equinix did about the company, that is actually the value of the program, and the people love it. I basically talked to the whole team, and yeah, that's all I can say is just great things.
Cool. All right, thanks. Yeah, so over here, it looks like that you're logged in, right? Because it's saying
Yes.
good to see you.
Actually, I
Cuemby.
can I can do one step back and sign now, so you see how it looks like from the beginning. So this is the platform. So when you get into the initial screen, you just can get started, and we basically right there give you exactly what we're trying to achieve here, right? Just productivity, reduce cost, and boost performance. So we can get started here. You can log in however you want, whatever you prefer way. So I'm just gonna use GitHub. And that way I can just not only log in, but also get my repository synced up real quick. So once we're here, the way that we built it is thinking about like, there's a lot of course, terms and conditions. Let me just get these out of the way for now. The way that we built it is to make sure that you have flexibility across multiple scenarios. So if you are a MSP, for example, that you work for multiple companies and you handle all their deployments, there you go. You can create multiple organizations. If your organization, like a really large organization, and you want to handle your departments or your different projects in a different way, or it's separate from as organizations, you can do it that way as well. So I just created this one here for today's demo. And once you are in the organization, of course, you have another layer of isolation, which is projects. And then you can have multiple projects. You can use it as to basically divide teams. So in that way, you can have more isolation. And I created 3 projects that I want to showcase today. But before that, I wanted just to show you a little bit around of the platform. So here on the right hand side, you can have, of course, your information and the API tokens. I love to show this because at the end, we want to make sure that you can integrate with the platform if you have all the things around. And for example, this is a great example to build a Pulumi plugin, a Terraform plugin, OpenTofu plugin, whatever you want plugin, you can do it because you have access to API tokens. You can just create them, give the permissions that you want. You can go as granular as you want. So this is basically a great example for you to just integrate with the platform in and out, basically. So that's one thing. I'm gonna leave the API, and you can also manage users, roles. You can have as many roles as you want. You can be also as granular as you want in terms of your access to the platform. So that will give you, even more flexibility for your team. So those are part of the platform that I wanted to show you before we get into the fun stuff. Unless you have a question so far.
No, so here you're able to create groups, right? So those are groups of people and not just like the individual people. And then you can
Correct.
add the people into whether they're a stakeholder or a developer
Mm-hmm.
or, manager or whatever.
Correct. By default, we basically is assuming that you have people that may want to be more like overseeing, like viewing stuff, but not actually touching much. That's the stakeholder. And then we assume that you have developers. And that's actually where our slogan comes in, where we want to basically unleash the DevOps hero in every developer. So every developer should be able to basically do DevOps task without having to, learn the whole curve. And that's the whole mantra that we go, like, give them that superpower. But if you do want to give more like general permission, like say you wanna create more like a project manager. So let's say something like that. You get project manager, and then you give them, hey, you know what, project manager is not gonna do much in performance. They only can see it. They can read it. They can read logs. But you know what? I want them to be able to create pipelines. Let's say that's dangerous, but do it. They can create applications, or basically, they can read applications and they can read environments, that kind of stuff. So once you create that primary role that you see right there, then you can assign to a user. So you invite a user, and then you say for now you have that group under your belt. So you can basically give them all those granular permissions.
Got it. Okay, cool. Perfect.
Awesome. All right. So now in the left hand side we have the menu. So we divide this in these main categories: performance, pipelines, integrations, and billing. Um, in terms of pipeline, which is usually the one that you go straight ahead and do, we have the concept of applications. For us, application is a template. So in this case, you can see we built a ton of template of different services, and then you can, once you want to run it itself, you do runtimes. And the runtimes is now you take that template, you modify a little bit what you want, and you just run it. So I'm going to show you actually one example here that I have, the weather app. Love it. We need to know it's going to be freezing in Chicago, I guess. So let's check it out. So this is the application. It's basically just a template. So if I want to create one, just to show you the tour, you basically come here and you say, this is the weather app, and let's call this maybe like B2, right? So let's say this B2. And then we select the integration. In this case, it's coming from my repositories. If it could be either my personal repository, it could be organization repository. I'm going to show you in a second where you can get this from. And I'm just going to go here to Ramirez. That's my personal one. It's going to load all my repositories. In this case, I'm going to just search for the weather application right there. And I'm going to say this is an external traffic because I want it to be accessible from the outside. But if, let's say I'm building something and I want to just be internal and I'm going to reference in another service, then I can just say internal, and it's only going to generate an internal URL that I can just reference, in another application. So I'm going to do external for now. And this one is pretty cool. So let's say that I don't even know how to do a Docker file. They say I'm a developer. I'm very new. I don't know. I just want to build this application. Fine, we integrate with build pack. So if you say, yes, I need build pack, then you can select here your language and say that I wrote this in JavaScript. And then it will know how to do the whole building using build packs. In this case, I did actually I have my Docker file built in, so it's fine. I'm just going to say no, but it's right there in case you need it. So here now we're just going to go to set up the basic information. So if I need a port, if I need more variables, if I need to encrypt them, this is encrypt. And I can just say whatever I want to encrypt, and it's going to be encrypted. And that's it. We got a vault right there. So I'm going to leave it there. We don't need it, but just to let you know that it's possible. So once I do this, I'm going to select what's the type of instance that I want to run this. Is this kind of like a pod as a service, let's put it that way, inside the platform. And then you can basically say, I just want a small one. I want to make sure that this can grow all the way from 1 to 10 if I want to, if I need the traffic. And it would just take the basic scaling services from Kubernetes. We're actually working on even more scaling services, so that's coming up real quick. Now that I have the application, which in this case I already have one built in, now I can build as many environments as I want. And every environment is entirely isolated. We're using a lot of networking policies behind the scenes and all that. In this case, I have developed, but let's create another one. Let's say now that I have staging. So I'm going to create that environment. Real quick, there you go. And now I have 2 environments. So I have as many as I want. And finally, we go to a runtime. The runtime is now the actual launching of the application. So I already launched this one. It is running. In this case, I did one change on this target because I plugged in the platform to an internal cluster that I have on my computer. So this fancy URL won't work right now, but I can show you right here using put forward from my cluster. And this is the application running. So now, of course, we want to know Chicago, how it's going to be. Because we're going to KubeCon, so we need to know. Oh, okay, wow. All right, so it's going to be that's in Celsius, so that's going to be a little bit freezing, I guess. It's
not gonna and so these are in Celsius, right?
Yeah, this one is in Celsius.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, this is like this is low.
Chicago's going to be 9 degrees Celsius,
uh,
while Orlando is going to be 25.
yes.
That's really crazy to me. Okay, all right.
So let's see where I am right now. All right, that's cool.
Okay.
That's like what, like 70, no,
Yeah,
something.
I think that you multiply by 3 point something. So
Yeah,
yeah, it'd probably be about 75, give or take.
nice and warm.
Yeah, and then the 9 degrees was 20. That's 27. Yeah, so it's gonna be snowing. So you're gonna be at KubeCon then.
Yes, I'll be at KubeCon.
Okay. Yeah. So you're gonna be speaking at the Equinix booth, of course.
Yes.
Um, and so are you gonna be doing a demo like this, or is it gonna be other things that you're gonna be covering?
Well, actually, it's gonna be even more because at the Equinix booth, we actually gonna be in two occasions. We're gonna be doing one demo, and I think it's Wednesday, and the other one Thursday.
Mm.
But it's gonna be fun because we're actually preparing like a raffle. So I'm gonna be launching multiple services and different type of applications, and I'm exhorting people to do it live with me, and we're gonna be raffling pretty cool prizes. We got like a Magic Leap one goggles. We have some, there is a Lego Atari that we're gonna be giving away. So people that want to participate alongside with me at the Equinix booth, they're definitely gonna be able to win those.
Okay. I'm probably not allowed to enter for the Lego, so I'm a little bit jealous. But you know,
No,
sounds
yeah,
like it's gonna be a pretty good time.
it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So what we want to basically showcase is like how easy it could be for anyone, any person that may not be an expert in Kubernetes, to deploy applications using the benefits of Kubernetes, which at the end does go back to what we said at the beginning. So we're not trying to solve the mega super cluster problem of Kubernetes. We want to make sure that we give all the tools necessary for any developer or maybe new coming DevOps engineers that may not have all the experience that is required to do all this by themselves to be able to do it this quick.
Yeah. And so what's the environments tab?
Which one? Which environment?
It's the environments tab. I think that your mouse is over right there.
Oh, sorry. There you go.
Okay. So then that's where you're setting up your
Correct.
dev staging your prod. Okay.
Yeah. So actually, I wanted to just do this real quick and show you how I can deploy in runtime, right? So I'm gonna deploy V2. It's the same application, but I'm just gonna use a different template just to show you how it works. And then, of course, here we can see, again, all the configuration that we put on the application, the template, just in case that we forgot. So we can say, shit, we're okay with this. Let's go and click next. And then here is where I can have different branches. So let's say that I have another branch and I want to just test it out. I want to see how it looks, this older version of the application. This is what we're going to be doing at the Equinix booth and KubeCon, like different versions of the applications and testing in that workflow that any developer basically have every day. So we're just gonna click the branch, we're gonna go how the health check is gonna be, and then I'm gonna select in this case staging. So I'm just gonna click here and just hit create.
Now, when you're dropping down and it's showing you that branch, it's pulling in that data because you've linked your GitHub to your account, right?
Correct. Yes.
Okay.
So it's completely tied to my. And actually, I'm gonna. Well, this is gonna be deploying. So let's just give it a second. That coming from here, you see, I can just plug in any Git provider I want, and right now I have a CC Labs organization that we have. So we have some examples there, and those are the ones that we're gonna be working on KubeCon. I got my personal one, but let's say that I also want my company. So I can just say, I'm going to say Cuemby here. I'm going to click on GitHub, and then it's going to bring the integration tab.
Right.
So now it's reading all my organizations, whatever I have assigned to my users. So I can click here and then click on Cuemby in this case, update, and now I have Cuemby integration. So now if I want to create a new template, now coming from another Cuemby application, that's going to happen. Which actually I can show you one of those as well if we have enough time later. But that is the integration. So This one, as you can see, our platform, I'm showing you the beta version. So there's a lot of stuff here that we're working to release on the production one, but we also have the client provider integration that we're working on right now. So you can also integrate. If you want to target somewhere else, you can go and target somewhere else. Our platform by default runs in Equinix. So if you don't plug in anything, you don't need it. You can just deploy and you're gonna get there. But if you want to share some deployments, you can do that as well.
And so people who are watching this are probably saying, why is Equinix not one of the options here on cloud? And that's because Equinix gives you access to these three clouds, right?
Correct. Exactly.
Yeah. Okay.
Everything that is running here. The reason why you don't need it because by default it's already plugged in.
Yeah.
So, for
Okay.
example, if you want to deploy an application, automatically we're just giving you Equinix resources. So and we did it on purpose because we want to lower the friction for you to deploy to the point that don't even think about where the target is going to be. We're going to give you one by default. But if you want to also split some of the target, fine, you can do it. You can plug it in and you still can use both at the same time.
So this is like your quick, so this is a quick multi-cloud solution.
Correct.
Where just like one account, you're logged in, you get access to all three because Equinix is almost like this like umbrella over top of those three, creating this like interconnection lanes between all three. And so then when you become a customer at Cuemby, then you see something like something very simple like this, where it's just streamlined, and it's very well presented and it's very easy to figure out and follow.
Yeah, actually, so if you put it in context, this is actually a great thing too that you touch upon. This is because I need to highlight something from Equinix, which is the fabric, right? So doing if I had to set up a cluster and I had to make it secure, I don't want my cluster to be public, right? So why creating it and making it public? But what I'm doing here is I'm giving you already by default security where Equinix is your front line. Okay, you might want to deploy it also in another cloud provider, but Equinix is using the internal connections that is already available on the system via Fabric. It's secure, it's internal, and it's fast. So basically, you just have by default you have all the security that Equinix provides. So this is actually the way that we thought about building this part. So you got security by default.
Yeah. And it's not just about being secure. It's also just about like the actual cloud sovereignty too, of like just this idea of like laws between different, like just between like different, like, like just different like countries and different like geographies around the world, rather than you having to kind of like, figure out things all around the world. You just have like one account with Equinix and then you log on through Cuemby and then you have access to, this kind of like platform as a service provider without really worrying much about the back end. It's almost like having like a Kubernetes engine of sorts where you're kind of like leaving all those complexities in the background, which is, very, I guess, like it's just a very like easy on ramp for people. And so, that's what Cuemby does here, is that it's an easy on ramp for, not just for Kubernetes as a service, but for, any platform that you wanted.
Yeah, absolutely. And let's just go back real quick to the runtime to see if everything went well. There you go.
Yeah, so see if everything partitioned. Okay.
So the staging is deployed like we suspect it was going to be. And I'm just gonna do something real quick to get the port forward so I can show you the application running. So the port forward is right here, and we got it here. There you go. Just to remind you that I did it using my internal cluster real quick. There you go.
Here, I'm gonna push this down to see if people need to see like that last bit of traffic there where it says external, just so that people can see the entire screen. So walk us through what you're doing now on the external monitor. You're like grabbing some keys.
Yeah, no, what I'm doing in the external monitor is basically doing a port forward from my internal cluster.
Okay.
And just grabbing that. But for some reason, I think it's this.
Well, here, as you're doing that, what I can do is I can unshare your screen, and we can do. How about these screens? Well, I mean, like that. We're so Uh, wait, is this one better? No, no. I'm trying to find one like when we're like together, but we're not big. Okay, there. This is perfect. This is good. So now your screen's not being shared. You're free to do what you want, and then just let me know when you want the screens to come back on. As you're doing that, let me just tell people more about Quemby. So you were at TechCrunch. You were at TechCrunch Disrupt a couple about maybe a month or two ago. You were there with Equinix. We saw you at the like photo booth and all too. So how did that go for you and to like Atomi and the rest of the like C-level team?
Oh no, it was great. It was great. I mean, it was a great experience because you get to see a lot of the applications, a lot of companies, and how they go in different ways. And it's interesting because you can get a lot of practice though, a lot of practice to pitch what you do,
Mm.
showcasing your application. We actually did a live stream during the event to basically like explain what we're doing here because there was so many people. And the best way that we actually were able to like talk to the masses in the event was to actually doing a live stream. So
Mm.
we saw people on the event looking at the stream that we're doing from one of the booths. So that was crazy.
Sure, sure. Okay.
So it was a great experience. Definitely, that was my first time at TechCrush. So I was not, I wasn't, I didn't have any reference. So, but the thing is, like, it was great. We had a great time. We actually went to the Equinix after party, which was amazing, and we also got to meet other founders that are in the program and other ones that basically super interesting on getting in. So we explain our experience through the program and how it helped us, and they were actually super happy.
One thing that I think that people should know more about you because you and the rest of the team are fantastic. But what one thing that I think is cool is that you are the Latin American ambassador for the CNCF. So tell us about that, how that kind of like worked out. What's your day to day, or maybe like your like week to week with that role too, as you're doing as you're doing Quemby. You really want to give back to like the like open source community. You do a lot for like for like Cuba and to your customers and here to America. So you're really kind of running roles in different parts of the whole like internet space of trying to make cloud computing more accessible.
Oh
That's
yeah,
great.
definitely. So the things like Quemby is was built on a community mentality.
Mm.
I consider myself a product of the community. I mean, as I don't know if I think people might want to read the blog to learn more and the whole story. But I'm Cuban, so I came here when I was 22, and the way that I was able to insert myself into the system and understand, I mean, how can I use my skill, because I used to program there, but coding in Cuba is not the same as coding here. It's a completely different story. So I had to basically learn everything all over again, and I found myself in a community where they give me a really welcome, warm, and they helped me out. I got a lot of friends that also give me a hand and introduced me to the community. So I feel that the community will gave me the ability to become a professional here in the United States. So uh, the way to give back to them is actually just help them building more communities. So that's something that we've been done for all basically the 10 years that Quemby is being in business, to the point where I'm focusing a lot on Latin America. There's great leaders, there's a lot of talent in Latin America. All we had to do is just showcase them. We had to give them the opportunity, accessibility, and let them shine. So I think that's kind of my what I feel is my life project is trying to help other leaders in Latin America and become visible to the world. And it happens to be that by doing that work, the CNCF recognized me as an ambassador. I strongly believe that using all these technologies, cloud native, Kubernetes, and all these good stuff that we have in the technology world, actually provides a well for the for life. As long as I'm a little weird on that because I think I'm a technologist, but I think technology had to have a meaning to actually make people's life better. Sometimes that's why I get some, controversial conversations, especially about all these nice new shiny things, blockchain, AI. I love them, but I think it had to have a meaning for life and actually make people life better. So that's my mantra, and that's how we build communities and help others, and yeah, that's how I end up here.
That's awesome. Cool. And so are you ready to share your screen yet, or no?
Yeah, I mean,
No.
basically switch it to the port that I have it, because it was giving me some um, it was telling
Here
me
we
that I
go.
was already using the port, so I
Okay.
just changed it up. I put Miami again. We can do
So
it.
I'm sharing your screen right now, just so you know.
Okay.
Okay.
So let's say in TechCrunch, how was that? Oh, it was nice.
Oh, that's not so bad. Okay.
That was okay. That was okay. Um, Actually, something pretty cool that I wanted to share about the community is that recently there's been a huge spark on LATAM, especially starting back in June. We did like a KCD, the first one in person in Latin America, in Colombia, Medellin, and like I say, other leaders in Latin America did the first step and joined us there, help us out. And since then, we've basically been doing together something that we call the fellowship of cloud native. Oh, we just come up with that, and it's pretty cool. And what we're doing is basically going to different countries, different communities in person, and help them out. We went in Guatemala, we were in Salvador. We're now gonna be soon in Costa Rica, Mexico, Peru, Argentina, and Brazil. So since that, basically a lot of new communities have been sparking, and we've seen a lot of talent in Latin America. So I wanted to highlight that. So, and since we are in the weather side, why we don't check out how cool is Medellin right now? No, man, I love it. It's a beautiful city, and it's called the Eternal Spring City.
I'm actually not familiar with it, but I mean, if it's called the like Eternal Springs, maybe I should check it out. Maybe that'll be my next trip.
Absolutely. I think I there's someone asking a question here.
Oh, there's okay. Yeah, let me check the chat.
Oh yeah,
Let's
one.
see. Oh, reporting from Seattle. Um, so Juan says, does that mean that I can use my on-prem clusters?
Correct. Yes. So if we go back again to what I'm doing here, um, in this case, what I did is I plugged in my internal cluster in my computer. So you can plug in any cluster you want. Now, if you go to the cloud provider ones, is usually it's like it will deploy for you a set of nodes to be in compliance to what we were discussing a little earlier. But if you want to plugging a Raspberry Pi, we're basically providing commands for you to run those clusters, and you can use them as target deployments.
Yeah, and by the way, thank you, Juan, for for tuning in. Oh, and by the way, now's a pretty good time since Juan and some others are watching. Um, if you want to get started on Equinix, you can use code you can use code Equinix Live, all lowercase, get started on Equinix. And then with that, you can go over to Cuemby, which is Cuemby.com, and then you can get started on Cuemby. So, oh, and so Juan just jumped in and said that's a game changer. So,
Oh man,
yeah.
thank you. Yeah, that's big. Actually, something interesting about the reason, another reason why we chose Equinix to our baseline is because we saw by using bare metals and the platforms on Equinix, we actually got 10x performance on the same cluster that we would deploy. So that was something that for us it was also a game changer on the platform.
That's awesome. Cool. And if there's any other questions, feel free to ask away.
Yeah, absolutely. So I mean, this is basically the demo that I have prepared for this one. I have a lot more that we're gonna be doing on live on the booth at KubeCon. But happy to get feedback. If you wanna test the application, I mean, is you can go to the beta environment right now. You can sign in and let us know what you think about it. Right now we're collecting a lot of feedback. We want to make sure that we get everything tied up, and and then we can talk about if you want to go to the production environment. Definitely we can help you with that after that.
Yeah, and so then here, let me just show people about the the website. It's Cuemby, Cuemby.com.
Yes.
And you can get started, and any questions, the support team and everyone is awesome. So yeah, I guess that I'll just wrap it up there. Is there anything else that that you wanted to add?
No, I think that would be all. I mean, and definitely I want to invite you all to use Equinix for sure. I mean, that I've been saying all the good stuff that I'm getting out of it. So like I say, uh, no, because I'm doing this live. I've been saying it for a long time since we found out about Equinix and we tested out. We actually did a lot of benchmarking, so it's great. So if you wanna basically get the best out of your bucket, you know, take it and yeah, I mean, give it a try to the beta platform. Definitely, like I say, we're looking for feedback. We want people to let us know what else can we make this platform better, and invite you to KubeCon. I think as one of the best places to mingle. So we're gonna be there. Equinix and Cuemby are gonna be there. We're gonna be doing two live. We're gonna be doing one on Wednesday, one on Thursday. There's gonna be giveaways. There's gonna be also a lot of like surprises that we have. I'll be speaking about community building on Wednesday as well, and actually a fun part. So I'm gonna be competing with another ambassadors friend of mine in Cube Crawl on Tuesday night. So we're gonna be doing some fun stuff about fixing or whatever challenge they throw at us, and trying to showcase some skills, make it full of ourselves as well. Why not? So it's gonna be fun.
That's awesome. Okay, cool. So to find out more about Quemby, you can go there. Let's see. We have Jose says, "Walt, we have a gift for you." For me, wait, just so people from the stream can understand. I don't need a gift. I dedicate my gift to the Quemby team. You can give it away to one of your very deserving customers. But I appreciate it, Jose. Um, uh, so really quick. See, now I want to know what this gift is. So on that note, oh my camera just died. Okay, well on that note, um, here I will hear it. How about this? Uh, I'll just do this as I'm. Oh, maybe I can. Can I change my video? Let's see if I can do a FaceTime. Yeah, here. Okay, here. So here saved by the bell. I'm on a different camera now. I'm on this camera instead of this one. um so to find out more about Quemby, you can check them out at KubeCon. For next week, as Angel was just saying, he's going to be speaking on multiple panels at KubeCon. There's going to be fun things like giveaways and all. To find out more about the Cuemby Cloud Platform, you can go there, of course, and they're a platform to launch your applications in the cloud. So yeah, so thank you, Angel, and to the Cuemby team. And next time that you wanted to come on, let us know, and we would love to have you.
No, I mean, it's been a pleasure, and I had a lot of fun here with you. Thank you so much for inviting me.
Yeah. And I'll finish it off with this. Angel, thank you for sharing this and for everything you do to the tech community in Latin America and beyond. You're a role model for a lot of us. Congrats to you and the whole Cuemby team. So yeah, that's awesome. Well,
Thank you,
we will
Juan.
end
Thank
it on
you.
that note.
Thank you.
All right. Thanks again, everyone. And thanks to Angel and Cuemby.
Likewise. Bye.